back with another DJs BrewTube beer review. In front of us, we have a big old quart of beer, so it must be something special if I went to the Crowler station. Hell yes. And from whom do we have said beer from the Crowler station? We have one from RaR, or Real Ale Revival, out of Cambridge, Maryland, US of A. Yay, yay. So you know what that means. It's time for DJ to go local. That's right, guys. We're going local again with another RaR beer. So what beer do we have from them today? We have their 10 layers. This is a Milk Stout. It's a rotating serving. It clocks in at 7.2% ABV, between 20 and 40 IBUs. For adjuncts in this beer, they're using lactose, of course, because it's a Milk Stout, and cacao nibs. That sounds pretty freaking awesome. And this is meant to mimic what? They're saying 10 layers, a Smith Island cake. Smith Island cake happens to be the Maryland state dessert. It's a 10-layer cake. Sometimes it's 8, but generally it's 10 layers. Each layer has super sweet icing in between. It's a decadent dessert. It's something you eat one slice of unless you really want to hog down because it's super sweet and tasty. I've had this beer way back when in a tasting. I really dug it, and I've heard it's gotten better since then with each iteration. So, you know what? Time to stop flapping my gums, crack the top on this here Crowler, and tell you what's up with 10 layers from RaR. Now I'm going to open this one gingerly because at the Growler station, yeah, they filled this one super tight, tie up to the top, which is actually a good thing because, you know what, in a Crowler, that means there's less, you know, head space and air getting into your beer. So let's pour it in. We got a big old snifter and a whole quart of beer, so we can pour it deep, but I want to slow up a little bit so we have some room for the schnoz. But you know what, we're just going to pour it good. Hell yes. All right. Wow, that little sip was just freaking awesome. Anyway, let's talk about the appearance of the beer. It is super, it's black. There's a little tiny bit of light that comes through at the bottom where the stem connects to the base of the snifter here, but there's no light coming through. We got a solid, a little bit soap sudsy, finger and 3/4 head. When I swirl it, yeah, we're getting some nice alcohol legs, and I think we are also going to get some nice glass lacing. Now, this beer has been in this Crowler for 4 or 5 days. People say, oh, you can't have a Crowler around for more than 2 days. That's bullshit. It's still got plenty of head, still smells awesome, and I've kept Crowlers cellared and drank cellar beer at beer, like sort of like shares and bottle shares, I guess Crowler shares, that folks have had those beers in the cans for a year, and they tasted just fine. There's no light and air hitting it. Maybe it's a regulation. But anyway, take a look at that delicious beer in the glass. You know what? But it's going to smell good, too. So let's dive in for the aroma. Damn, that is straight up chocolate cake. Wow. It's doughy, chocolate, fudgy, tons and tons of milky lactic sweetness, a little bit of coffee, man, it's making my mouth water, caramel, toffee, big vanilla note. I wonder if they put some vanilla in here too. I don't know. They don't disclose all their ingredients, but I do know they use cacao nibs and lactose for sure. But it smells like vanilla cake with chocolate ice on it, man. This smells delicious. Not a hint of alcohol. I'm diving in. I've earned this one today. Trust me. Cheers! Hell yeah. That, wow. You see I'm draining that glass, and that is crushable. Right up in your face, what do you get? Chocolate. It's not super sweet. It's got a lot of sweetness to it, and mouth coating. In the back end, there's actually a like a dark chocolate combined with earthy hop and some coffee, like malt-driven coffee flavor. Man, this is delicious. Super smooth. The velvety mouthfeel, really coating. Lots of nice caramel and burnt brown sugar in there as well. And that vanilla note's coming out too as it invades my palate more. And the 7.2% is completely hidden. I mean, you can't even tell it's there at all. Wow. It's a lighter stout, even though it's super dark and decadent. It doesn't drink like a thick, gloopy stout, but it brings almost a flavor of a thick, gloopy stout. It's a little behind that. But if they would do the barrel-aged version of this, that would be totally freaking off the wall. Barrel-aged first meal, regular first meal is a 7% beer. Like this is 7.2, and when they do barrel-aged first meal, it goes up to like 9%, a little bit bigger beer, and that freaking rocks it easy. And I bet you this would too. It's not a lot of complexity in the flavor of the beer, but It's bringing what it says it's going to bring. It's supposed to taste like a vanilla or yellow cake with chocolate, and it really mimics that flavor quite well. With the milky, sort of bready doughiness of the malt bill that they put in here, it's almost chewy and slick. Man, super tasty and crushable. I'm glad I got a crowler of this. This will be no problem finishing this this evening while I kick it and chill. So, you hear I am digging this beer, not just because it's a local brew and I'm liking RaR, just because it tastes freaking awesome. So, let's grade it. Beer Advocate gives this beer a 93. That's a high A- on my scale, and where 94 is the start, so on a lot of people's scales, that's probably an A2. And Untapped is giving this 4.25 caps, which is definitely into their really high A range. I'm going 97 on this. The only thing I'm looking for is maybe a little more body to it and a little more complexity of flavor. That's the only thing that holds it back from A+, and that's a small knock. This is a really tasty beer. If you see it or you trade for it, get it. Their can releases come out super fast. I never get hardly ever get their actual packaged can releases, but it's easy to get crowlers sometimes if you know where to go, that is. So, have you had RaR's 10 layers? If you have, let me know what you know, because I like the quid pro quo and the back and forth. I also really like it when you think globally, drink locally, because I'm getting it done today. And support the craft beer movement, because that's how all this shiznit grow. Also, if you could do me a big favor and rate, comment, subscribe, especially if it's your first time with us. And if you can get around to it, maybe consider smashing that like button, because that, along with only one crowler, because that's a whole quart of beer, is all I'm going to need tonight of RaR's 10 layers to put my big ass happy face on. Since the next DJs BrewTube, I got nothing but a hella bunch of RaR's 10 layers drinking love for you. And you know what's coming, that's right. Hell yes, a big ass peace out.